Howdy. Well, what you're looking at here are a couple of rifles. Well, duh. This is the Krag Jorgensen. This was the American rifle used in the Spanish-American War. It was adopted in, I think, 1892. And it was a pretty good rifle. It had a few flaws, a few drawbacks to it. This is as it existed back in the 1890s. Actually, I inherited this one from my grandfather. Well, actually from my dad, who got it from my grandfather, who got it from his father. And the one on top here is unfortunately sporterized, but this is a 1893 Spanish Mauser. This and this fought each other in the Spanish-American War. And when America saw this, they scrapped the Krag. And they went to the 1903 Springfield, which basically was a copy of the Mauser, of a later pattern Mauser. This was the 1892-93 pattern. Later, there was the 1896. Sweden had that one. And then the 1898, which was the standard Gewehr 98 of World War I, of the Germans. The Austrians were at the time using a Mannlicher. But this is a much better rifle in some respects than this one. This one shoots the bolt, because it only has two locking lugs, is much smoother to operate than a Mauser bolt. But to load it, instead of, with this one, you would bring it back and load through a stripper clip on the top. The system was great. Oh, come on. I'm on the other side of here, and there. It's just not easy to do on the tabletop. The Krag, on the other hand, you would open up this loading gate and dump the rounds in, 5 rounds, and snap it shut. It's as I said, it has a much, see how easy that works? But that's because it has less locking lugs. It's a interesting system. This one was chambered in the first smokeless powder or smokeless cartridge that the U.S. Army ever adopted, the 30-40 Krag Jorgensen round. This was chambered in 7mm by 57 Mauser. And as I said, when the Americans came up against it, though they had overwhelming firepower and won, they liked this rifle much better. And, well, basically, it was a better rifle. The Krag, though, is a good rifle. It's a lot of these, when they came back from military service, the government got rid of them, I think, through the Division of Civilian Marksmanship. And you could buy them relatively cheap. And guys all over the country did, then chopped them down, sporterized them, and made hunting rifles out of them. And, I mean, that was a great idea. You could make all kinds of good things for out of a Krag. I have an Enfield hunting rifle that was made in 30-40 Krag, but it started out as an Enfield. I've also got a Winchester Model 1895 lever action, also in 30-40 Krag. So, you know, it was popular in its day for a lot of uses. But the Mauser, well, it was just a better rifle. The 1898 is still probably the best bolt-action rifle design in production today. And I mean, that's it. It's still in production. It's been made since 1898. But you can still find modern rifles using that action. It's a superb action. Anyway, I prefer getting original military surplus, but sometimes you just can't find them. You just can't find one that's both complete and in a price range I can afford. So because I'm sort of a poor, dumb hillbilly, I go out and buy whatever I can. And in this case, I bought a sporterized Spanish Mauser because I wanted something of that type. Anyway, the two rifles of the Spanish-American War. And this one, by the way, I've got including the bayonet and frog and everything. I've got the whole kit for this one. Handy when you inherit it. Well, see, my great-grandfather was in the Spanish-American War, so that's sort of, this kind of cough followed him home. And it's a cool rifle. And this will go to my son because ain't nobody taking that one from us.